I'll take the help of this brochure that JanBask has provided of how we'll be going forward in this entire course duration. As you can see, the count for software developers has been always on the rise, and it's always growing. And when it comes to Java, it's on the one of the most demanding technologies. So So in the introduction part, we'll be having a small introduction of how Java platform actually works. What are the different components that are involved in Java? Since it's a programming language, first of all, let me just say mention that it's an open source software. So when I say open source, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Anyone?
Yeah, we can download this one from internet. We don't have to pay actually. That's the open source basically.
That's right, Narullah. Also, there's one more thing that when it comes to open source, one more point needs to be added. There is no license, first of all, as Narullah mentioned, but there is one more thing. Anybody?
It's open source view for view to anyone, developers and QAs. That's my guess.
That's partially right, as even Narullah has mentioned.
And
Yeah.
you are talking about is supporting, like they have also support.
That's right. But what exactly open source means? What flexibility? What advantage does it give for the developers? I'm pretty happy with the point that you mentioned that it's free. That's perfectly true. There's one more thing that open source means.
Vinay, I don't know if this is right, but with open source, you can always get the latest update without, any hassle.
Right. Even that's right. Yeah. So I'll just get to the point. So when we say open source, it gives us the ability to change the language. I mean, to make some changes or modification in the development constructs. Like if you change any string class, I'm just giving an example. What exactly? Just taking an example of a string class in Java. So it's the Oracle community has given us the flexibility that you can also change it. Okay, we have given a string class in Java, but if you want to make some changes to it, you can do it without any problem. So that is also one of the main points when it comes to open source. It's just not free. It's the advantage is the power that you can use to make customization to the Java development kit that you download. Thanks for the. I like that you guys are participating. So that's good.
It's an open source. So it's an open source platform, correct?
That's perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as I said that we'll be covering these things. The introduction, as I just mentioned, um, how powerful that language is and what all platforms we can use it. Coming to the environment setup and IDEs. So I think before going forward, what is how we set up the environment? And since I think most of the guys y'all are new to programming, and I think IDs, these all terms could be kind of a jargons for you. So let me just explain what exactly IDE means. So IDE is a integrated development environment. So whenever you do any programming, you have an environment setup, like to do all the coding, to manage all your code structure and everything. So for that, we are using, there are different IDEs available in the market, which is again open source. Like one of the examples, one of the most widely used IDEs is Eclipse, if anyone has heard about it. And
I use Eclipse.
of course, QTP. And coming to the introduction, and let's first, go through the course structure, how exactly it would be. So this would give you a idea of how Java is doing in today's world, the different Java, the buzzword about the Java, the components that are involved in Java, like we have the compiler, we have the runtime environment. So don't worry. I mean, if these terms are new to you, don't worry. You, as I just progress, you will get to know what exactly the different components, what exactly compiler is, and all those things. So that should be fine. And as we mentioned about the environment setup, we'll come on it a bit later. So even this is since Java has been in the market for I think it's close to, it was introduced in 1991 or somewhere. Now it's close to 28 years. So in every release, I think the latest one is Java 9. So in every release, the Oracle community keeps on adding new features, which actually helps us as the developers to, in the while developing a new software, you would be very happy if something new gets added, which was not there in the previous release. So the Oracle community takes care of this. So every time there is an update, you can just download the latest version and without changing anything in your code. So there is a backward compatibility that's also attached with it. So this is anatomy of Java. So these are something like the one that I have highlighted, the entry points, the main method, command line arguments. Since most of y'all are completely new to a programming language, I will be explaining like how these if-else operations, condition loops, and what exactly loop means, what exactly if-else condition means to you. So I'll be covering those things, coming to understanding the language and the different operators that are involved in creating the Java language. These are the points. One is language keywords. What are the main keywords involved? Now, when we say about rules and conventions, since it's a programming language, the machine, it eventually gets converted to a language which only the machine can understand. Am I right? So for that, there are certain rules and conventions which we need to follow as a developer. That is something we can learn as we practice more and more. So the different data types that are involved. So if there is any doubts related to any terms, like I'm sure that when I had started Java or any programming language, even I had faced some difficulty in understanding different terms, terminologies. So I used to either get it resolved there itself, or by googling it what exactly this term means. Because since I have been IT, I have a qualification in IT, in masters in IT. So I know while I was attending my college days, so I had many such doubts, since it was like the initial days. I was a bit a shy kind of a student to ask even any simple questions. But then later I realized that okay, I should have asked this, cleared it there itself. So please don't be worried about if you have any simple or any kind of doubts. Just feel free. I will try to reply to the best of my abilities. So data types and all these terms, I am sure that most of you all would not be very much aware of. So please don't get bogged down by these terms. We will be covering these terms and concepts as we go on. So building blocks of a program. So eventually when we talk of program, what exactly does a program mean? Anybody?
Given specific program?
Yeah, just a program when it comes to the IT world.
Wireshark, SolarWind.
Sorry.
It could be SolarWind, based on IP addressing.
Yeah. That's
Could it be
partially right.
could it be a block of
So
code?
right. Hi, Vinit. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I think you have joined just now.
Yeah, I joined like 10 minutes ago.
Okay, okay, cool. Please go ahead.
I was saying like I was thinking program as in like a block of code or something they execute.
Right, right. So as Vinit mentioned that it would be a block of code which would be executed, which would be understood by the machine. So eventually we would be, when we say we are a Java developer, it means that we would be writing programs. We would be coding. So there are different terminologies involved. Programmer, we call a programmer. Programmer is one who writes a program. A developer is a one who develops a code and develops an application. So a programmer, a developer. So these all terms are quite similar. It goes synonymous with each other. Okay. So objects and classes. What exactly objects and classes means? We'll be going forward, looking at it going forward. Arithmetic operators that is involved in this language, the increment or decrement operator, relational operator. So I mean, did you all get a chance to just go through this brochure? Did any one of you?
Yeah, I have it in
Yep.
front of me.
Great, great. Java access modifiers. So I think there are a lot of technical terms that are involved in this. So I'd suggest that you guys just go through this once. Maybe not now. Once we are done with the first session, what exactly we would be covering. Okay, fine. So for this first session, let's try to keep it, like yeah. So as you can see that on the first session we are supposed to clear these things. What exact introduction to the platform. So as I mentioned, I have already given an introduction of how Java works. Like what are the different components involved. So when we say about a component, what exactly is the first thing that comes to your mind?
The component might be a part of Java.
That's right. But that's right, part of Java. But what, how will it, help in? I mean, why exactly is it required in Java? And I will talk about the different components. But before going forward, I would like to understand like what exactly a component in a general, layman's term mean.
Component is a part of where all the classes have been be.
Uh-huh. That's fine.
Piece of hardware
So,
that you put in any machine, basically.
sorry, Vinita, I didn't catch you. Can you please come again?
It could be a piece of hardware or electronic component that you put in any machine.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, as Vinit mentioned that it's a part of the hardware or something. So, as Java is when we talk about Java, we talk in the software terms. So even in software, we have a software programming framework like Java. It's built upon based upon different components. Like we have a compiler, we have a runtime environment, and we have a debugger. So these are some new terminologies which you would be coming with. So don't worry, I'll be explaining that. So what exactly does a compiler mean? The compiler is something when you write a Java language, you cannot just convert it to expect the machine to get understand. You have to write in such the programming language is written in such a way that you have to compile it in a uh, it gets compiled in a more better version. Like if you write a Java program, it would be a high level language which would be comprised of different if constructs, else constructs, the for loops, and etc. So this is not something that the machine easily understands. You have to uh, con- uh, com- convert it into a language which the machine easily understands. So that we call as dot class files. So these dot class files are the one which the machine actually understands. I will have to set up the environment first of all in Java. So I'll just show to you guys how we actually download the Java software. We just go to Google, type the latest version for your Windows or the Mac operating system, whatever you're using. Has anyone downloaded Java before on their system?
Yep.
I'm doing that right now with you.
Okay, that's great. So in the meanwhile, even you all can just follow the steps that I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
Right.
I have a question, Vinay.
Sure, please go ahead, Daniel.
So, how different is the Java that you are downloading from Java JDK?
Okay. So you mean to ask how is Java different from Java JDK?
Yep.
That's a very good question. So basically, when we say Java, as I mentioned, that there are different components involved. It's just not a single thing. There are different components which comprises of a Java language. As you said, JDK. So JDK stands for Java Development Kit. So when we talk about development kit, it means it is the kit which we download in our system and which would be helpful in for us in creating the different programs. Like I'd be showing it with some examples which would help to clear out. So basically, JDK is a part of Java. If I think if that clears your question.
Yeah, that clears it.
Yeah. So Java is like an umbrella term. Under that, we have the JDK, we have the JRE, we have the debugger, we have the compiler, and etc.
Got you. Thank you.
I'm very happy that Daniel asked me that question. So these kind of questions, I would be very happy answering to you guys. That would actually help you, even you, to understand, and also the entire team to understand if they have any kind of doubts. I think my browser is not supporting me to download it. Let me just try it on IE.
The only confusion part, it says when Java installation complete, you need to restart your browser to enable Java installation.
Did you get that message?
Yeah. Oh, not yet, but I'm looking at the bottom.
Okay, okay. Fine. So as you can see, I have a setup installed. Now I will be running it, installing it in my system. So the version that I am installing is Java 8, which is having the update 161. So these numbers are like, as you can see, it is the different 8. When it comes to Java 8, it's a very big uh, change that they had brought in Java 8. And when we talk about these updates, so those are like small patch releases, like some small changes that they have introduced in the language. So these count keeps on increasing till a certain point. After that, it would be Java 9 and update 0, 1, 2, 3, like that.
Hey, I have the Java 8.144 version. Do I need the latest or that works?
That's perfectly fine. 144 update is perfectly fine. As far as it is Java 8, it's fine. Even if it is Java 7, that should not be a problem. But it's always good to download the latest version.
Okay.
So just are you guys also on the same screen in your system? I'm assuming that you guys are also downloading it. If not, it's fine. Just follow the steps that I'm doing. Maybe after the lecture you can do it. In the meanwhile, that this gets downloaded, Vinit, can you just give a small introduction of what exactly you are looking from this course, and what are what are your aspirations and expectations once you complete this course? We had a small introduction session before you just joined it, so I think we have missed you.
Okay, sure, yeah, I can call you in after. You want me to call you in after the class?
Sorry?
Wait, could you repeat what you said?
Yeah, I just said if you can give a small introduction to the entire team of yourself,
Okay, sure.
and what is it that you are looking from this training.
Okay, sure. Hi, my name is Vineet, and currently I'm in the IT field. I'm actually a recent graduate from college, and I have Java knowledge, basic Java knowledge, and I'm trying to gain more knowledge towards the framework, and also what do you call threading, different threading process and different coding programs and the framework. That's more knowledge I'm looking forward towards.
That's great. That's great. So you already have some kind of Java background with you.
Yep, I know.
That's great. Thank you very much, Vinay.
You're welcome.
As you can see over here, Java is found everywhere on your mobile phones, desktop computers, set-top boxes, even in your car music system. It's used so widely, and that is the reason why it's in so huge demand. The power of this language is so huge that you can't just stay away with it if you are a programmer. You better just learn this language and get a create a very high demand for yourself in the market. I'm sure you guys would be having that once you complete the course.
Minute, I have a question. When I click on Java download, it brings me to a version 8 update 161. Is that what I need?
That's perfectly right. Even as I mentioned, even if it is Java 8 or Java 7, any version you can install it in your system. That should not be a problem.
It says installed and verified.
For our training purpose, we can also go for Java 6 or Java 7, but since it's all, as I mentioned, it's always good to have the latest one on your system. It won't be a problem if you download a lower one. So even if you have installed a lower one, just let it be as it is. You would be running fine even with that. Okay, so now it's installing. Oh, wow. So it says that you have successfully installed Java. So I'll just close this. So if you want to verify whether Java is installed in your system or not, I'll show you how we can do that. Just go to command prompt. Type Java. C stands for compiler. So it's not able to find it. Can anyone suggest me, Vinit? Any idea?
Run on,
Oh, you haven't downloaded the compiler yet, so that's why. You just downloaded just the Java.
Is it? Are you sure?
You haven't, yeah, because you did download the whole JDK. JDK is the whole thing. It comes with the compiler and the...
Right. So as I mentioned that when we download Java, it also comes with a compiler. So it should have given me, right? Right. That is something that I have missed it. I have downloaded it perfectly. I had got a message that it was installed successfully. So why is it not picking up?
I'm not sure, because on my system it's showing Java C and it's showing me all the compiler and everything.
Okay. Yeah, as Vineet mentioned, is right. It's just the JRE that's been downloaded. It's not the Java, the JDK. So for that, we'll have to download JDK also. JDK, by the way, stands for Java Development Kit. Without this, we won't be able to proceed further with our development. So I can select. I'm using it for my Windows environment. So I'll go with the 162 update.
so you can go right to Oracle, right?
That's
right.
right.
Oracle webpage.
That's right.
Oh, I see.
So I just showed you so that even you also understand what are the different components. As the previously what we had installed was Java, JRE, which is the runtime environment. But with that, you can only run Java programs. You cannot create Java programs in your system. for creating Java program, you have to have the development kit with you, in which we can find it from the Oracle's this site. I think this will take some time, so showing me 10 minutes or something. Okay, we'll just wait for some time. In the meanwhile, we'll just come to the course structure again, how it will be. So initially, we would be we'll be setting up the environment. I will make you understand how, what are the different features in this language, the what exactly a Java program, how exactly it looks like, the different command line arguments. So after that, okay, it is taking some good amount of time. So what's the time in US right now?
9:59.
Oh, I'm sure that you guys are connecting from your home, right? Anyone from your office or somewhere? I think my internet speed is killing me. It's taking some good amount of time.
Where is it been at?
Okay, hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, someone just said something, I just missed it. Sorry. Can you please come again?
No, it's all good.
Okay. In the meanwhile, you all have any questions for me? Anything related to, how my experience has been in this entire 8 years of my Java development? So I will just give you, an idea of how different types of projects I have been working on. So it has been mainly related to, I have worked in different domains. Like the current domain that I'm working on is finance domain. It's purely finance. So when it comes to finance, the demand for Java is always on a high as compared to other programming languages. And apart from the finance domain, I have worked on intellectual property domain. That was something which was very interesting for me for the first time. When we talk about intellectual property, it is the trademarks, patents, copyrights. So that was a couple of years back for me. And but as I can see in the current market demand, the highest paying job would be a finance domain background along with a Java development experience. So as you can see, even in US, I'm sure that there are many financial companies which would be hiring purely Java developers because the security and the platform independence that it gives is so huge that, and also it's an open source. So because of this different features, it's in very high demand. And in my 8 years of experience, it was like I had started as a junior developer. My junior developer days, it was like I had understood the course. I mean, I had understood the language, but since I had not practiced it much, I was finding it very difficult initially in my initial 6 months. So what I would suggest is, as you all would be completing this course, even with that, any small assignments would be fine, like a small program daily, which should be fine. I want you all to practice it daily, so that you get very much equipped with that. Without practice, if you learn everything, it's of no use. I mean, that is what issue that I had faced. I used to learn everything from the book and everything, but then when it comes to the actual real-time coding, I used to, I was not very sure how should we go forward. So luckily, I had few good mentors with me who had trained me how to go forward, and I'll be sharing that same experience with you guys.
I have a quick question for you.
Sure.
How does different platform plays roles in Java, and how would you suggest, or what would you suggest a better option going forward with any specific platform? Or framework, actually, not platform. Framework.
Vinny, I didn't get exactly your question. Can you please come again?
So basically, there are a couple of different frameworks out there, right?
Right.
So how does one framework is better than other framework when it comes to Java?
Okay. That's a very, very interesting and good question. Yeah. So when we talk about framework, first of all, what exactly does it come to your mind? I mean, a framework is something what exactly is a framework, first of all?
Framework is basically a frame that you put the Java code or basically the whole language in and use it.
Yeah, that's partially right. Okay, I'll just explain it. So when we talk about a framework, it is something which actually helps us helps the developer community to develop very high-end softwares, very high-end applications. Like consider I'm just giving a very vague example. It could be any banking application. Suppose if you log into your internet banking and you can see a different set of GUIs, the user interfaces. There would be like one option to check your balance, one option would be there to transfer money, one option would be there to pay your credit card bills, etc. So this entire thing, we call it as a web application. For creating this big application, it's without a framework, it would be very difficult. So when we talk about framework, it is something which has ready-made components, and it uses Java as the baseline. So one of the most popular frameworks when it comes to Java, it is Spring, which is widely used in today's technology when it comes to Java. We have Spring, we have Struts, we have Hibernate, we have JSP servlets, etc. There are many frameworks in Java, but the most demanding would be right now is Spring. When we talk about the difference, as Vineet said, what would be the difference between the different frameworks? It's like some frameworks would be having some more features which would suit your requirements when you're developing the software. So when there is a requirement where you have to create a complete web application, so there are different components that would be required. So if you ask me which would be the better option to go, to my experience, I would say that Spring is the very widely used and it has many features in that as compared to Struts. So it depends. It depends upon the features that that framework has, what all different components it has, whether it is suiting your requirement. It cannot be, we cannot say that something like Struts is better than Spring. It basically depends upon our requirement. If our requirement is to create a web application or something, I would suggest you go with Spring Framework. So there is nothing like a good or bad. But in the last couple of years, Spring has taken a very high, I mean, a big leap when it comes to developing different components in Java. It helps us. It helps the developers a lot. Believe me, in creating very enterprise applications and all those things.
Okay, perfect. Also, could you when you say different frameworks have already ready-made components in them, can you give an example of it?
Yeah, an example would be like, as I mentioned, that just consider a banking application, any banking application, which internet banking, in which you are using, you are entering your credentials, you can see some screens loaded. So these screens are the screens and the functionality behind that. Suppose if you are doing you are retrieving the statement for the last 1 month. I'm just giving a very small example. So in that, it would be there would be some background processes which would be going on. So these background processes are not simple Java programs. Those are very lot of different programs that are clubbed together. So these clubbing and all those things are being done with the framework, with the help of the framework.
Okay, got it. Understood.
Otherwise, if we as developers keep on integrating these different programs, it would be a very painful job for us. That is where the framework comes into the picture. It does all the work. I mean, you just have to take care of the configurations. Once you are done with the configuration, you have everything with you ready. So it basically reduces a lot of stress of the developers. And if you ask me, my personal choice, it would be anytime Spring Framework.
Okay, perfect. So basically, all the components are their own separate Java codes, and then basically Spring puts all of them together, and then you can just combine them and put it out.
That's right. That's perfectly right.
Okay, perfect. Got it.
So as we just complete with the course, I mean, the course structure is for 30 days. So in the meanwhile, it won't be just Java. So Java is something which would be the base. On top of that, we would be having different frameworks. So it's, I mean, only if you learn Java, it won't be, of a very good help. But you have to learn Java to learn Spring, to learn Struts, to learn Hibernate, and other frameworks. So our main focus would be to learn the base of Java, and then gradually, we would be covering Spring and the different frameworks. Okay, so now we are. So as you can see, development tools. So this is the actual development kit which the Oracle community provides us. The previous one which we had downloaded, it was the runtime environment. So it's the runtime environment is nothing but the environment which helps you to execute, to run the Java program. So there are two different things involved over here. Once you create your Java program, and one is once the program is created, you have to run it. So the execution part was done previously. So I am just installing it in my program file Java folder. Any doubts till now? Narula, have you done this process before of installing the Java in your system?
Yeah, Yeah, I actually installed Java. Sometime I was watching the video from Udemy, free video. So because I was trying to learn like myself.
Right,
So,
right.
but I don't know where is right now. So I have to uninstall then, and again I'm gonna install again.
Okay, okay. That's good. Actually, if you try to, if you do this process of multiple, I mean, at least a couple of times, you would get equipped with the idea of how we actually install it. So this is the base of becoming a Java developer or any programmer. So you have to first install it in your system. It's not like straight away. You have to follow a few configurations. Only then you can say and verify that okay, Java is now installed in your system, and now you're good to go ahead. So in this first session, I have kept it very simple. Let's just install it and get our environment ready for the next session.
And then for some reason I'm running Java SU development kit 9. Is that still alright?
That should be fine.
Uh,
You are one step ahead, so that should be fine always. Even if it's Java 8 or Java 6 also, that should be fine. So are you able to verify? How did you verify that you have Java 9, SE9 installed?
uh, uh, it was verified that I have Java 8, uh, and then redirect me to kit 9.
Okay. I'll just show you once this gets installed how we can verify it. So I'm just waiting for this. Which version you have in your system, I can just show you once this gets done. So in my first session, although I was supposed to start more to it, I'll just keep it very simple. First, it's very important to understand how we install it in our system. And from the next session onwards, we will be going with the different features of the language, different uh, features I have covered. Some would be covered in my next session. But yeah, this is one of the very important steps how to install because this usually takes some good amount of time for the if you are a newbie.
What did you type in a command prompt?
Yes, yes, good question. Just let me get this done. I'll show you.
My apology, I kind of missed it.
Okay, so it was basically Java C. Can you just try it in on your system?
The Jones. Um, not recognize Java C is not recognized an internal kernel command. Yeah, I have the same string on command prompt.
Okay, no worries. Hey Daniel, are you also trying to install it on your system? Hello. Daniel is on mute. How about Tim?
Yeah, I'm all set.
Great, great. So now it says that the Java SE development kit was successfully installed, which means we can go ahead and check. So Vinit, I'm typing Java C over here. What do you think? Will it pick up? No, it's not picking
No,
up.
it's not. It's not gonna pick up.
Right. So the reason it's not picking up is because we have not set the environment variables. We need to make the Windows system aware that we have installed it. Now just you have to set the path of Java so that it can pick it up when we again come to the command prompt. So just make a note of these steps that I'm following. I have gone to environment properties, clicking on advanced system settings, environment variables, and over here in system variables I will create a new, or yeah, I mean I can also add it over here, or we can add it to the path variable itself.
So it was to advanced system settings, right?
Yeah, I'll just come again to the screen.
Choose settings.
So I right clicked on my computer, properties, advanced system settings, environment variables, and in my system variables I can just go to the path variable. I can create a new. Okay, so when we create a new, I will have to keep the path of the Java installation folder where I have installed it in my system. So it was in C drive, program files, Java. Now you can see JDK. So I will be giving it till bin. So if you see in the bin folder, there are many files. So one is Java C. So since we had not given the path of this particular installation folder, it was not the command prompt was not able to pick it up, and hence it was giving us that it's not able to recognize it as a command. So once we do this, we'll check how it behaves after that. Control V. Okay. Okay. Again, if I try to do this, this won't work. I have to close the window and again open the command prompt and then try to type Java C. So I have typed Java C and now it's loading. It's loading. It has got the path. So here you can see. So here you can see that, okay, we have installed Java in our system. When we get these parameters, we can clearly verify that, okay, Java is installed in our system. Now, if we want to check, okay, which version we have installed in our system, we will type Java -version. Yes, so it shows that it has installed Java version 1.8.0 162, the same which we have downloaded.
Vinay, what's in the system properties, right? What do we do there?
In the system properties, I'll just show you again. Is everyone trying to install it in their system? I think it would be good if we can just get this thing sorted, because once we are sorted with this, then it would be helpful for continuing our development. I think we have more 10 minutes with us, or we can extend it for more 5 to 10 minutes. But let's try to get the Java installed in our system, which would actually help us when we come for the next session. Daniel Narulla, are you able to install it? Same.
Just having trouble with the Java C part.
Okay. What exactly is it giving you when you type Java C?
Oh wait, so
Are you
I
able
got,
to?
yeah, I'm into system properties and did environmental variables. So when I click in new, do I just type in Java C and that's it?
Okay, so I'll just again show you how I had done that. I had gone to, since this is Windows 10, you would be using Windows 7 or Windows 8. So a bit of difference here and there. Just go to the properties, advanced system settings, environment variables. Please stop me if there is something that you are not able to understand. I would be very happy to answer that. Okay. So over here you can see one, we have the variables for my local user, which you can see Vinay09, and one we have system variables. So I have taken the system variables. In the system variables, I have taken specifically the path variable. If you can see over here, the path variable. Yep. Okay, and I'm trying to open it. So I have a set of values in that variables, which is already there, which is not related to Java. I had to explicitly give Java as my in one of the values. So over here, some of them might be having these same things, but with a colon separated. Am I right?
You say it again?
Yeah. So along with in that colon, just add one more colon and add this particular path wherever you have installed Java in your system.
Okay.
The Windows 10 UI looks a bit different. Even I was new. This was something new to me. Otherwise, it was something like, I'll just show it in a notepad. It should be something like, you have all these things?
Yes.
Controls. It would be, okay. Wait. So just don't bother about the other values. You have to append the Java path to your environment variable. So, okay, it's not getting copied. Okay, so in your system it would be something like this.
Choose a program file.
It would be separated with a colon, if you see. If
So
you're using Windows 7 or 8, then you won't have the same screen as I'm showing it to you right now.
Oh, I'm using Windows 10.
Okay, that's great. Then you can just click on New.
Yeah.
And just add the path of the, like you can see over here, C, program files, Java, and just click on OK. Just close all the windows, click on OK. Okay, and just close the command prompt if you have already opened it. And again open the command prompt. And over here you can see Java C when you type. It loads a list of things, so which says that okay, Java is now installed in your system. Nitin, are you able to see Java C?
Uh, no, but I think I just typed something in wrong. I think I can correct that.
That's fine. I mean, initially it would be like there would be some, issues when you're trying to set up, but once you understand how it works, it would be very easy for you to even set up in your friend's system or anywhere. So that should not be a problem. But anyone over here, Daniel, Narula, Rudy, did you all get a chance to install it? You all faced any issues?
Yeah, I haven't tried, but I will try after the meeting.
No worries.
If anything problem, then I will let you know tomorrow.
Okay, perfectly fine. Vinit, I'm sure that you would be having
Yes, I already have access
hello,
to this.
Vinit.
Yeah.
I'm sure that you would be having Java already installed in your system, right?
Yep. I already have all this.
So you shouldn't be having any problem with this.
Yep.
I think so.
Great. Lar, what about you?
Still working on downloading it, and the status just froze. I think it might be because of the WebEx, but I will definitely install it after the.
Okay. So even if you find any problem, installing it, you can try it on Google. You can just type how to install Java in your system. As simple as that. It will give you the steps.
Yeah, I'm happy I was able to get into a Java version, and it says 1.8, which is maybe not.
So if you just go to this, it will give you exactly what I've shown you.
Yeah.
Don't worry, even if you have any problem installing it, we can again check it tomorrow. But I would be very happy if you have, when we come back in the next lecture, we have Java installed.
Alright, super.
Anyone who was able to do it today itself? Daniel? How about Susan?
What's that noise?
Yeah, there is some noise. Even I'm hearing. Hey, Susan. Okay, Rudy has having some problem with the setup. Yes, Rudy, please. Do you can speak up? Is there any problem with the mic? Rudy, is there any issues with the mic? Can I just answer on the mic itself? You said that you're not able to get the edit environment done. Okay. So what exactly, I mean, where exactly are you having the issue? Hello? I think Rudy has got stuck somewhere. I'm not sure what exactly the problem he's facing. Anyways, guys, I think for today's session, my main aim was to give you a small introduction of, just wanted to get familiar with you guys, what you all are looking from this, and setting up, basically wanted to understand you where exactly Java will take you in your career path. But I just wanted to keep it very simple. I would be very happy if we could get this Java installed in our system for the coming sessions. If you all have any problems with the installation of Java, I would suggest you first try to Google it till the time we come back to the next session. If still it's not working, no, not to worry. I will definitely help you setting up it.
Hello, this is Woody. I just called back again because
Hey, hi Rudy.
Yeah, my phone have issue. I've been on the line. I heard everybody talking, but except me, you guys. None of you are able to hear me.
Yeah, now we are able to hear you.
There's a lot of noise coming from Team. That's the thing.
From me?
Tim, if you can just mute your microphone.
Okay.
Yes, Rudy, please go ahead.
Yes, I'm almost done. I'm on the edit environment variable. That's where I am now. So he tried to give you the direction how to go to the C drive to know which file number to save to get. But this is where I am right now.
Okay, so I'll again explain it to you how I had done that. You can just see the screen, and if you have any doubts, just stop me there itself.
Yes.
So I'm going over here. You can right click, properties. First of all, have you installed Java on your system?
I already did that. I already done all that. So I'm like,
that's
keep
okay.
Keep going to advanced system. Keep going that one. Keep going.
Okay. Advanced system settings. Environment
and
variables.
Okay.
So over here you can see system variables. In the system variables we have the path variable.
Yeah, I got that.
Over here you can have different values.
Okay.
Just ignore all the values. You just have to add a new value by clicking on new if you're using Windows 10. And over here you will be giving the path till the bin folder where you have installed Java in your system.
So where I have to get that? That's the thing. Where I have to get that?
Oh,
you
would be so if you go by default, it would have installed on the program files folder.
Yeah, I'm on the program file. I just want to know which one I have to look at, because I have two Java installed. Which one should I pick up?
Just go to program files.
I got it.
In that there would be a Java folder.
I got a Java JDK.
Right.
Okay, which
so
one?
Inside the JDK folder, there would be a bin folder.
I got two folders here.
Okay, what are the names of the two folders?
Both is kind of the same thing. They're like GR1, AK. Choose the JDK, right?
Yeah, we need to click on the JDK, not the JRE.
Okay, all right. So what next now? Which folder now?
So inside the JDK, we have a bin folder.
Bin folder, okay.
Okay, so now copy the entire path till bin, as you can see in my system. I have copied the entire path till bin.
Copy on entire file, right?
No, entire path. the path till bin. Can you just see my screen? You will be able to understand what exactly I'm trying
And
to
let's
say.
see. This is number I have to looking for. Okay, Java. Okay, I have to looking for that one. If you go back, this is where Java file dk.180. This is the thing where I have to find this one.
Can you copy the path till the bin folder?
You see, copy the path, right?
Right.
Because I saw it, but I mean, okay, pack 200, right?
Sorry.
Which one? Which you say pack 200 or?
No. Can you see my just leave that? Can you see my
your
screen
now? Okay, I'm seeing your screen. Your program, yeah, program file and Java, yeah. I saw that number.
Yeah. So in Java, you can see JDK 1.8.
Let me look for it. Not sure. JDK.
Yeah, JDK. Yeah. So this is my local. I mean, this is the path that I have copied it from my local system.
Yeah,
I'm sure it would be quite similar when you see it in your system also.
I have to look at it. JDK.
I really can't say. It's a program file /Java, right? Java.
Might give me a different one, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. Sorry I hold you guys.
That's fine. Don't worry. So
Yeah,
in the meanwhile,
I see JDK, I see Java. I don't know which one should I copy, you know. I see Java, JDK. I see Java, FX, you know. I don't know which one should I pick. I see Java
not to worry.
package.
What I would suggest is you can just try to, or can you share your screen?
I don't mind. You know, I'm using different PC. I'm not installing my same PC. I'm doing that thing. I'm doing.
Okay.
And I'm using a different PC to you know, to do that.
Okay,
I'm watching the video.
No worries. So what we can do is maybe after the session you can just try to Google it. I mean, these steps would be given exactly the same I have explained it to you. So maybe if you have a document in front of you, you can go step by step in that and again check if you are able to install it. Maybe when we have the next session coming up, we should be in a better position. If we still are not able to do it, I would be again explaining it to you. I'm sure it's not a very difficult thing. It's very easy. I'm sure you guys would be able to install it.
I'm almost get it. I just don't find the file name to get
That's fine. That's fine. Not an issue.
All right.
So maybe once we wind up this, we can just, Google it and then try to do. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you. I mean, I think the first session was more of like an introduction, which I wanted to understand what exactly you guys are looking for, and it's been a very good. I mean, I'm very happy with the kind of response, with the kind of questions that you're asking me. It sounds very promising batch, and going forward, I'm just looking to help in the best possible way that I can to you guys.